Welcome along, everyone. What was it like, that experience, jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your all every time. And
when you're young and you get in the old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. We are back. It's been a little while. It seems like a long time, but welcome back to In the Cockpit with Kinser Wednesday show, and with my good friend you can see on the screen there as well, Bump and Run with Craig Booker. Good afternoon, Books.
G'day, mate. How are we today? She's just nice and hot here on the Hawke's Bay. I tell you, we're at 28, 29 degrees here today. I'm sweltering in this bloody heat. Now I'm sitting in front of this. 6 screens going. It's pretty hot in my corner.
Yeah, I bet you it is. Look, it's hot up and down the North Island. Obviously, it's different weather down in the south at the moment with that weather watch down there. But in the north, look, we're just baking in the sunshine. Good evening. Thanks for jumping on board, Richard and Trudy Aldridge, always jumping in to watch the show. To all those others who are sitting there watching, welcome. It's good to be back. And it's 53 days of Christmas, and I'll leave it at that.
I don't know why someone always has to bring that up, eh? Hey, let's first of all, apologies to everybody that was going to come and want to see Peter Bankston. Unfortunately, he had problems at work, but at least he rang us nice and early and let us know, and he is going to reschedule to come back on and talk to us. So looking forward to that, Kins. Looking forward to have Peter Bankston back on. I mean, the guy's been around so long and done so much when it comes to the sport, you know.
Totally,
it'd be great to have a talk to him and talk about how he started and how he got into it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, he didn't come from mini stock side of things. He pretty much jumped into it, and how it all evolved from there to what we know now in racing. They Super Saloon, and recently, obviously, they all know he's heading down South Island. When we caught up with him as part of our pits build up on the pits day at the Palmy Speedway, he even made mention then to us and gave the exclusive. He was going to concentrate a lot more on the Super Saloon, maybe just pop out off and on in the Super Stock. We do know one of the Great Britain drivers will be driving at the 240s and everything like that. But yeah, for him, it is all about the Super Saloon. Carl Carpendale, mate, yeah, we're all good. It's good to be back. I won't say what Jason Coley just said to you.
Oh, I saw that.
Dave Thomas, hey mate, how you going, Dave? Good day to you, Brody Goodley. Good to have you on board.
Yes, that's Murray's young fella.
Madu. Yeah, all right, Madu. Good to have you there, mate. Well, we might touch a little bit on the tyres at this stage, Dave, but we're not going to get into it too in depth, obviously, at this stage. But we will cover that off sometime in the next few weeks or so. Obviously, it's quite a topical conversation at the moment, which way you look at it. Because of individuals who put posts up. But yeah, we'll get into it. Look, we'll leave it at that. We may get one of our guests who will touch on that, and we'll see what happens. But let's talk online simulation racing. That's who we are as Cockpit. We are actually a sim racing community. And very soon, actually, as close as this Sunday, we will be getting underway our Cockpit Racing, our stock car Indy series.
Absolutely, mate, 100%. This is only going to be an in-house series for this one. We made it a decision that the E-Series for real drivers to join us will be our Super Stock series, and we should be starting that and looking at people to come join us sort of end of March. We'll start looking at that. We wanted to get all those, for the drivers that got all their big meetings coming up from between now and then, haven't they, Reno, so we'll do it then, and there's a limited amount of spaces available to join us for that series for Superstock drivers, so we'll get into that then. So yeah, this one is just, we will be live streaming, and I will be commentating again for this E-Series, our stock car series. We've had some updates from the creator, Dirt NZ, who's made them even better again. Yeah. I got to get the likes of these Regans and Kyron and Quinn Ryan and that all just around the corner for me to come over and try some of the stuff and tell us what they think of the simulation and how good and how close it is to the real thing. Hooray for the Hoot Nanny. You did right, Murray. The Hoot Nanny will be back. But that's what we're doing. Sunday nights from 8:30 will be our series. We'll interview some drivers each night before the racing. But you can join us starting this Sunday is our first opening round. Jeff McConey that's joined us. Krusty is watching as well. He's the man running the series for us. So he's developed this series. It's going to be a quick series, and I'm looking forward to it, Kins, and seeing what evolves with this new physics and everything that we've done with the series.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Look, and it doesn't get any easier with the first round this Sunday. Like you say, it's the South Island Champs down at Riverside. Then we've got the King of the Clay, the NZGP, the Battle of the South, North Island Champs, the Warfare, and of course the New Zealand Champs. It goes and it wraps up just a week before Christmas. So this will keep us busy over the next 7 Sundays right through. So 7 weeks.
Yeah, and then we'll put up a post and put out the invite for real super stock drivers that have got sim rigs that want to join us. Like I say, there will be limited spots to get in. So we hope they join us, and we hope they'll because there's also a lot of preparation goes in it. We have to put their cars in the game, and so there's a lot of work involved in turning on one of these e-series, you know. Yeah, a lot involved, and a lot goes on in the background to make this series work and get the right cars for the real drivers in the game as well. So, but we'll leave it at that. So join us Sunday for that one. We will be live from 8:30, or maybe probably about 8:15. Yeah, we'll be into it, Kins, into our new E-series. So we haven't sort of put a lot out there, but we'll put some posts up and let people know. And then the real E-series with real drivers will be after March, after the big meetings around the speedway tracks of New Zealand have sort of quietened down a bit, shall we say. So yeah.
There is plenty of speedway meetings going up and down the country this weekend, so do get along and support your local tracks, support your local drivers. All the fans out there will get along and enjoy. Look, Mother Nature, we know over the recent weekend just gone, caused havoc to a few meetings. Palmy got underway, but a few around the countryside. Obviously, the wet weather played havoc with it all. Macca, good to have you on board. Macca watching. Wayne and Michelle Taylor, also to have you back as well. Paul Mason, always good to see you watching the show there, mate. The Hootenanny sign and Pidal. Yeah, that's right, Dave Thomas. I actually spoke to the owner of that Hootenanny sign.
Oh, really?
I've actually got their hands on that. That's a big concert that's put on by the people who run one of the biggest classic car events of nostalgia. It's the annual Beach Hop event. I caught up with the owner of that and said to him, mate, I want that Hootenanny sign. He says, well, you can take it off there whenever you want it. Because I told him there's a mate of mine down in the Hawke's Bay who would love to have it. So I'm going to grab it for your books. The Hootenanny
World
sign.
famous in Pirate. Old Councillor Wilkinson getting the perks again.
Yeah, well, that's where I was last Wednesday. Like he just said, I was away doing my other hat that I wear. I'm a counsellor, like most know out there. And thank you for the wonderful comments last week. Took me around on my journey, but good to be back here hosting the show. And there's something else that we want to talk about too, Booker.
Yes.
Our heads were thinking the same about half an hour ago. Go on, break the news, mate.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we want young mini stock kids to come on our show and talk about their driving. Okay, so we want to promote every class in this sport, and sometimes the likes of your mini stock kids get forgotten about, your sidecar guys get forgotten about, and things like that. But we think every single part of Speedway class makes up Speedway, right? We interviewed the young kids down in Palmy in our pit walk. We did it at Stratford.
Yep.
So if you're watching out there, drivers, and you know some good young up and coming mini stock drivers, send us a PM on our Cockpit page. Parents, if you're watching, you've got a young kid out there, boy, girl, we don't care. Age, we don't care, 12 to 16, I think it is. Is that right, Reno? Send us a PM. We would love to do a night with mini stock kids on our show and interview them and give them a bit of limelight and let people see what they're about. And then once we've done that, we also want to do another show later on, which will be up and comers. So up and comers in the sport that we see that don't get enough recognition for how good they're doing and what they're doing. So we're here to help everybody, aren't we, Reno? You know, and so mini stock drivers, mums, dads, mini stock drivers, super stock, any other class driver out there that knows mini stock drivers, get hold of us, send us a PM, and let's get them on the show. Let's talk to them. Let's get their sponsors out there. We'll have a great night. A lot of fun. And let the world watch and say, hey, I saw that guy back in 2022 when he was just a kid, and, 10 years later, he's won NZ. Now, how many mini stock drivers have we seen come through and become stars of the future, mate?
Yeah, 100%. You know, yes, we will catch up and talk with TQ's car. We'll be catching up with you as well. And Dave, you are right. Mini stocks are our future stars. And look, we found that all out when we went to Stratford and down to Palmy. There was one young kid we spoke. It was his first practice in Palmy. He rambled off every single sponsor that was associated with his car. He even had the L plate. So it's about just recognizing those kids, boys and girls. And I tell you what, the big thing about doing that is you see their parents, you see their siblings, you see their family members, you even see their sponsors all run out with their phones, live streaming, taking photos.
How often,
because, every bloody time we spoke to one. So,
yeah,
we want to bring it
we're
to
interviewing a mini stock driver. You turn around and look behind me, and there's all the family and friends and that videoing us, filming them. It's fantastic. So, hey, look, get hold of us. If anybody out there knows a mini stock driver, tell them to get hold of us. Message us. Parents, if you're watching, drivers out there, we want some mini stock drivers to do a show on. And we don't care from where in the country. Just get in touch with us and let's do it.
Excellent. All right. So that's a bit about mini stocks. And look, we're trying to do some build up around this as well, because the mini stocks in Paradise is coming up after Palmy Teams Weekend, 10th and 11th of February in 2023. So, we'll catch up with a few of them and get that all sorted. But we do have a couple of guests who will be joining us this actual Friday, Saturday, up and down the country. You'll be wearing gumboots. It's I Am Hope, but we're going to talk to Regan O'Brien about that. But I think we got our guest, Aaron Lewis, who joins us, Garage 16. Sitting to the side there, and he'll talk a bit about, well, he got out on his modify. He went down to Woodford Glen, also the latest issue of the NZ Dirt Track Racing magazine as well. And what's Aaron been up to since we were with him?
Let's bring him in, eh, kids?
Let's bring him in. Here he is, hiding in the corner. Hey, Aaron, mate, how you going?
How's it going? Living the dream, guys. Living the dream. We're back into Speedway season. And we're pumped. There is so much going on. That's fantastic.
I'm so glad that Vince was actually still able to join us there in the background, mate.
Yeah, I know. He seems to be a little bit shocked.
So he had his birthday, Vince, just recently. Happy birthday, Vince.
Yeah.
A good night, no doubt, when you spent it with the family.
He's so shocked he can't talk at the moment. So, I tell you what, I better put that down because he will kill me. Well, he's the editor of a reputable magazine now, so got a reputation to uphold. But I guess that's probably one of the first things that we can go into and. Hitting the shelves now. Subscribers are getting it. The new edition of NZ Dirt Track magazine. Now, with the magazine, it's been great over the winter. We've been kind of trying to find out the stories from last year and what's been happening and things like that. But now we're really getting into the nitty gritty of the season. So we're really. I have to admit, obviously I get to read one of these early, and this was for me. It was a cover-to-cover exercise on my flight up and down the country, back and forth to Woodford Glen. But I'll talk a bit more about that soon. And the great thing about this edition is there's an excellent story about Stephen Taylor, and funnily enough, that story was that came out a little bit. The story was written and published a little bit before the news he came out with this week. So, definitely get the magazine, and you'll find out what's kind of happening with Stephen. Then you can follow on online because he's had to take a step back and get a couple of health things sorted out. So. The other thing that's really, really cool in the magazine that I really enjoyed was this write-up. In Wellington here, we've got this couple that are just super passionate about Speedway. Renee Huia, she's a local real estate agent, and her husband Dan, and they do heaps for the sport. Now they've kind of come in this year. Now they've got a four car stock car team now. So. And in that stock car team, they have the one NZ, and they also have the two NZ Sheldon Perry as well. So, and then Lexi Hendricks, and look, it's just sometimes when you come into the sport, it's not so easy. People might judge you or say, "Who's this?" And Renee's advertising abilities are amazing. Her face is all over the track. She sponsors tracks. She sponsors other cars. just absolutely full on into the sport, and I guess because they're reasonably new to the sport, but they've hit it hard and they've hit it heavy. You know, there is the old skeptic out there that goes, oh, you know, who are these people, and you know, what are they? You know, what are they all about, and why are they in the sport, and what are they trying to get out of it, and all the rest of it. Well, in here is a really, really good interview that has been put together where they talk about the brand new cars that they've brought, the people that they've brought into the team, and how they're going to go about having a crack at this race team thing. They're also big supporters of the young guns for Wellington as well. So you know, you were talking about mini stocks and the young ones coming through, and you know, have new people in the sport like this that are investing not just the money but also the time they're investing in it is you know, we got to really make sure we wrap ourselves around those people and make sure that they feel welcome, because we need them.
100%.
100%, mate. You know, you got to look after people who give in kind these days, and in many ways, because it's been tough. We know this, and we're going to talk more around this when we get into talking to Regan about the I Am Hope side of things. But obviously, you know, when everyone's giving something back and supporting, you know, do look after them. You're right, 100%. Wrap your arms around them, because without them, well, you bloody just about have nothing, mate. You got nothing.
Without the funding from people like them, the sport can die, because people can't afford to, not everyone can afford to race, and sponsors are what help you race in all sports, all form of sports and motorsports. It all comes down to money. And without those sponsors and those people helping with that money, so I don't know why people get upset. It's like some people say, oh, that person's dad bought them a car. So what?
Yeah.
So what? It's not everybody can do it by themselves. And that's like everything in life. Not everything can be done by yourself, you know? So stop being haters and sitting on your keyboards and go to the track and cheer these people on.
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, and I think for the majority of the sport, we certainly do that. So, you know, we don't want to bring our sport down. There's always going to be the odd people that want to say this and want to say that, but I'm not one of them, and our magazine and Garage 16 is not one of them, because we're bloody lucky. You know, we invest a lot in the sport as well, but you know, I last weekend I went down to Woodford Glen for their fireworks show, and it was really cool. I just got to go down and enjoy an event. And down, because we spend so much time at Woodford Glen, we're lucky enough to, we've got our own corporate box down there. And what I was able to do is there's a modified driver down in Christchurch there. His name's Evan Nickel, and he's 74 years old.
Wow.
Modified.
Wow.
And no, he's not lighting it up at the front and all that sort of stuff, but he's just loving life. You know, he's 74 and just wants to keep going in life. Ex-drag car racer, all that sort of stuff. Well, his family hadn't been able to be all together at once and watch him race at a meeting. Just, you know, with young kids growing up and all the rest of it. So I offered our corporate box to them last weekend. And
nice.
I jumped on a plane and went down to Woodford Glen and got to hang out with them for the weekend. And they, you know, the daughters watching dad race, and all the husbands were there, and the kids were there, and everyone was cheering him on, and sort of looking at that, and then looking out into this amazing crowd. Like, I don't know how they couldn't have fit any more people in at Woodford Glen. Unfortunately, I think they had to turn a few hundred away. You know, that's how popular the event was. And just looking out there, everyone's pumped to be back at Speedway. A lot of people are there for the fireworks and stuff, of course, but yeah, I tell you what, from the public all the way into the pits, it was just great to be back, and that's following on from a pretty cool opening weekend we had at Wellington the week before.
Yeah, it looks like the whole opening meetings up and down the whole country, nearly every track was just chock-a-block. I know you were at the opening for Miani just not that long ago, Booker, and I was watching the live stream here at home, and that was just like try and find a spare seat in the place. It was unreal.
I couldn't believe it, you know, opening night. I think it's just that we've been so starved, haven't we, of our favourite sport for a couple of years now. And it shows people are really embracing the sport again. It's actually like COVID's given Speedway a new lease of life, which is fantastic for every single part of the sport, you know. At Miani, I went there at 4:30 to jump in my spot, thinking And I normally sit there for a couple of hours in the sun, you know, contemplating life and watching people walk past, and and I couldn't even get in my spot at 4:30. I couldn't believe it. It's like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, it was just fantastic. And I heard the same thing from other tracks right around the country on opening weekend. It's just so great to hear, you know, and it's all families and stuff, you know, and
That's it.
it's a great. I mean, I got an opportunity to take a good friend of mine, Keith. You know, we did that race for Kinser long ago, and we lost the lady, and got to take him out there, and he hadn't seen Speedway in 20 years. And all he could do was rave about it afterwards. It's fantastic to see. And that's what the effect of our sport has on people. It just makes them so happy, eh? You know?
Oh, totally. Look, at like we said, and we talked about, a lot of families get to go along. Madu, Clive Elliott on modified, you're pretty well right, mate. Also, when I think of Newton Gorge as well, you know, he's up there and is modified as well. But there's just so many great races around. 74, Troy Roscoe, yeah, he's up there, mate, eh? It's just good to see. It definitely is, and it's a sport that we love, mate. How's your modify going? How you been going there? How's the racing been going? Don't shake your head like that,
Mate, I'm shaking my head because I can't believe how effing awesome this whole experience is. We've just, you know, my dad lives in Hamilton, and I think he spent more time in Wellington over the winter. We've just been hanging out, working on the car, getting this thing ready. It's awesome. My daughter's been coming down to the workshop, and, you know, it's just heap of fun. We finally got the car out onto the track for opening night at Wellington, and yeah, we had a couple of problems. We loose wires to the fuel pump, and I kind of drove out the gate on the very first race and got just outside the gate, and then it went, and that was it. Couldn't restart it or anything, so I got pushed to the middle, and and I had to watch the other guys race. And someone said to me, "Oh no, you got the best seat in the house." But the thing is, no, you don't, because I have to sit in my car, and you're not allowed to take any of your safety equipment off. So I've got my hybrid Hans device on, and I can't turn my head. I can't see the rest of the race. So yeah, look. We took it back in, and I had the Everleys there, and my dad there, and my friend Jono, and Vince was there filming, and we were, you know, we thought that might be it. We thought it was actually the fuel pump, but usual Speedway spirit, man. The guys next door were loaning us tools from Jonas's camp, and they were pulling the car apart. I'm just sitting there going, I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not going to try. and then next minute the fuel pump's off, and this, that, and the rest, and it went from putting it onto the trailer to, mate, get your gear back on. So we went out for race 2, and luck of the gods or whatever it was, the car just that absolutely purred. Got to do all my laps. I only got lapped by the 2 top cars, which I was pretty happy with, because my goal for the season is to get to the point where I'm not lapped by everyone constantly, and I can kind of hold my own. So that's sort of the goal. And actually, I got a little bit too excited, and everyone's been talking to me about this side bite thing that the sprint car guys do, where you kind of rub your right rear tire up against the wall just to get a bit of extra traction. Well, I came out of turn 3 into turn 4, and I just went way wide. Smacked into the wall, bounced back out, kept it going, and off we went. And I tell you what, for the life of me, I tried to tell everyone it was side bite. That was what I was.
Yeah, that's what they call it at teams too, mate.
Yeah, mate. But I tell you what, and look, I obviously hadn't seen the Ross Chastain thing by then. But if you can picture that, if you watch NASCAR, did you guys watch NASCAR?
Yeah.
Did you see what they guys did? Insane. I reckon I was probably just about as good as that.
I thought he was a perfect contender for Cockpit with that move, to be perfectly honest.
That's what Vince said, because there was that time my throttle and everything got stuck during the street stock champs, and I just went around the outside, and it's the only race I
It bloody worked for him, though, didn't it? It worked for him.
Awesome stuff.
So look, the sport's busy. There is a lot going on in and around, that we're seeing. Obviously, we talk to a lot of people because of NZDTR. Vince gets in there, and there's lots of stuff going on at the moment, such as the tyre thing. That's a pretty big deal, and so many different takes on it. And the good thing is that we're getting that information. People are, there's one thing jumping up and down about something or wanting to state your case, but you've got to be able to kind of back it up with some substance. And I think the trickiest thing in this process is, the likes of Peter Rees and a few others and stuff that are all involved in this. They've all got their own take on it, how far that they're willing to take it.
Yeah.
And it's quite interesting. Some of the arguments I sit there and read and go, oh yeah, that kind of makes sense. And then I'll look at the other one, oh geez, that makes sense as well. And then on the back of it, the good thing too is that that Speedway New Zealand have, they've been very proactive in terms of coming to us as part of the print media to make sure that their voice is heard as well, which is good because everyone kind of gives the governing body a bit of a hard time sometimes. But what we've got to realise is a lot of the time it's voted in by us, not so much the drivers. But geez, man, you get into this technical committee stuff and all the stuff going on behind the scenes, and it's like, whew, yeah,
mind blown.
Rather than me, but it'll all come out in the wash. It's one of those situations, I think, where from this point it doesn't matter what happens. There's going to be people that are going to potentially end up a little bit upset, and because you can't please everyone all of the time. But yeah, there's a heck of a lot of sets of Hoosier tyres hanging around that are about running, and for those that don't know, it really comes down to there's a lot of factors associated with this, but effectively with Hoosier, it comes down to the softness of the tyre, which is called Dura, and the tyres need to be, in order to be legal, need to be around the 70 mark, and accusations of testing with some of the Hoosier tyres being sitting around the 65 mark, and a few other things where the governing body decided that it was time for other people to be able to come into the market. So yeah, there's all sorts of things associated with imports and exports and tyre softness and the who's who of the sport. It's it's one of those things that it's kind of sit back. If you don't mind a little bit of politics or a story in the background, then you keep up with the news on this. And next month, not in this edition of NZ Dirt Track, but in the next one, we're gonna have a fairly comprehensive look at that, and we can assure you that we are talking to everyone, not just it's not one-sided. SNZ, Peter Rees, everyone right the way through. So
Nice.
so yeah, you'll get the full lowdown next month on what's going on from there. Because the old social media is not always it's not always as truthful as it can be. So,
Are you telling me that everything on Facebook's not true?
I wouldn't say that.
Come on.
Of course it is.
I think that we should leave it to the people that know what they're talking about to sort it out, instead of there's a lot of people putting their 2 cents worth in that aren't even drivers or anything. And are just basing their accusations or their comments on reading one statement instead of reading what other people have to say as well. And I think that's causing a bit of drama too. So I think people just need to take a breath and just let it sort itself out,
Well, you've hit the nail on the head, mate, and that's what it's all about, because the information is out there.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing about our sport and where we're growing it. We're not just growing it in the mini stock classes. There's new media companies like yourselves coming in that are helping grow the sport and looking at the family aspect and everything, the positivity that comes with it. And then there's lots of write-ups here and there, and people are willing to put stuff on their Facebook pages and things like that. But Bookie, you're right. In order to form your own opinion, you've really got to get through and have a read of quite a few others. So unless you're kind of willing to do that, because there has been a little bit of mudslinging going on, which gets us nowhere. So
well, I think that's just, I think some people are forming their opinion based on it's their favourite driver that's had a comment to say or something like that. So it's my favourite driver, so he must be right, But that's not always the case either, I mean, we've got to be open-minded about everything, and it's like us here at Cockpit Media. We don't focus on one thing or one class. We focus on everything. And that's what I think everyone has to do. You need to see that big picture, turn your blinkers off, and just have a look at everything. But in saying that, I think that's a subject that we should just leave for another day, to be honest. I think it'll sort itself out, and I'm pretty sure that there's been that many opinions this week about it. I've sort of looked at a couple and thought, oh yeah. I read another one, oh yeah, and sort of didn't really have an opinion about it at all. I just thought, okay, there's too much information there for me to be able, and I'm not a racer. It doesn't affect me, so I don't need to have this hatred or a hatred opinion out there of something that doesn't affect me. I'm just a person that sits in the stands. Whether the car's got a good tyre on or not, I enjoy what goes around the track and the racer. So it's and I always think that a good racer adapts. So
yeah, absolutely, and like you said, and like I said at the start of coming on to speak with you guys tonight, there's so much good stuff coming on, and moving on to that, we're pretty excited. We've got the Garrett 16 Wellington Modified Champs this weekend here in Wellington, and unfortunately, my wife's best friend decided to get married in Speedway season on race night.
I don't know what's going on. Hey,
but luckily they kind of, they booked this in well over a year ago, so that's all good. I'm gonna go and have a night off Speedway, so I'll look forward to catching everything up on and everything after that. But there's a whole heap of stuff going on all around the country, even way down south. The Pits Media doing their first live streams. Yeah. Vince himself, he's off down south to watch some Speedway at Beachlands and stuff, but. Like you guys said, you're going to be around your own tracks as well this weekend. So it's going to be a heck of a lot of fun, and I can't wait.
All right,
yeah, mate. Well,
right.
Thank you. Yeah, well, and you talk about that Speedway thing, kids. I was just thinking it's like Wednesday nights. I think is date night for Superstock drivers, isn't it?
It is. Look, when we found out that Peter B wasn't going to be able to join us, we were ringing around, talking to different drivers. A lot of them were all booked out and going out for dinners. So it looks like a weekend night.
It was date night.
Date night, yeah, for wives and the family.
So just a note there for everybody. Wednesday night's date night for Superstock drivers. I don't know how Regan's got away with it, but...
Thanks, Aaron. We better let you go, my friend. It's always good to chew the fat with you and have a good chat with you about everything. Don't forget to
look at that. Get that.
Magazine. Look at that. Check it out. Stephen Taylor. Everything you want to find out. Also, the Huya family, their involvement, massive involvement down in Wellington as well. Good luck with the rest.
Sorry, go.
Carry on. Good luck with the rest of your season, mate. And keep doing what you do for the love of the sport that we all love. I was sitting there listening to you talk about the tyres. I sound like, mate, I feel like I'm sitting in a bloody council chamber. Listening to a bloody couple of politicians here.
I think there's an article about our show we did too in Palmy, isn't there?
The positivity around the sport's massive. Thanks to you guys for having us on. I can't wait to kick back and listen to the next person you're talking to, especially about the GUMBOOT Friday side of things. And thanks again for the opportunity, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Aaron.
Cheers, take care, Aaron. Thank you. There we go, everyone. Our good friend Aaron Lewis, obviously a modified driver. Give him a like on his Facebook page. He's got it all up all over the place there as well. Not obviously racing this weekend, tied up with family stuff with his lovely wife and everything. As said, this week, actually, I think it's a decade. The key of life is hope. But that is hope. It's I Am Hope. We know all about Mike King, and obviously a lot of people saw his interview with the Rock radio station. Very emotional. Didn't hold back his thoughts, obviously, and threw out a few curly words in amongst it. But let's catch up with Regan O'Brien, who joins us to talk about what's happening down in their neck of the area down at the Miana.
Just before I bring him in, Kins, I'd just like to say our condolences too. We just had up here a 6A Joel Wright.
Yes,
1977 North Island stock car champion, former Auckland Pawmall team member, passed away on Saturday. So our condolences to that family as well.
Yeah, exactly. 100% there as well. And that's a well-known name, the right name, when it comes to representing the A up there at the Speedway track. So thanks, Troy, for reminding us on that. Krusty, put them all on Coopers.
All right, on that note, let's bring him in, eh? Let's bring the man. We'll bring in Regan. Hey, there mate.
Look at that handsome-looking bugger, eh? Bloody hell.
Hey, boys.
How you going?
Good. Yeah.
Geez, you're bloody work, doing all the work to pay for Kyron's car, eh?
Oh, he's away on holiday, eh? So someone's got to stay here. No, I actually had the gym tonight, and then instead of going home, I popped back here and jumped. Computer's better here instead of at home.
Yeah,
Thought
fair
I'd dial
enough.
up at home.
Just the easy way to get out of touch too, I hear.
Yeah. Team, I'll be there at halftime to carve up, so hope they won.
We'll see what happens. We were just briefly talking about opening night of Speedway. The passion of the fans who have been hanging out for not a real long time because it's a short bloody turnaround with the season, but it just showed. And Booker was at the opening night. I know you two bumped into each other, but it was chock-a-block in nearly every track they had an opening night. Yeah,
I've never seen an opening night at Miami like that for years. Like there was even a stock car in our pit chute at Miami. He had to unload the car at the side of the pit chute because there was no parks. It was chocker. The stands. Obviously, my wife has a coffee cart out there, and she said it was a busy night. Everything was packed. It was awesome. So people were hanging out to get back into it.
Yeah.
Which is good. Yeah.
I didn't like not being able to get my spot though, I must admit.
Yeah, I know. Some people like that. It's a crazy what time some of those people go there, eh? People go there early.
I'm normally sitting there in the sun contemplating life, watching people walk past,
Yeah. People watching's awesome, isn't it?
Hey, I love it. Hey, I love it, mate. And then you get to watch the speedway afterwards,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You'd have to take a tarp along next time, do the old tarp trick.
Well, he goes there earlier, kids. I'll get to give him my chairs. He can go put them up on the hill for me.
If we charge $5 for every chair that gets put on the hill, we could buy a whole new set of we get a whole new set of tires. The amount of people that go there early, as soon as that gate's open, they're in the car park waiting for the gate to open. That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. That's passion, though, eh?
Yeah,
and you can't fault passion.
No, totally. Look, there are passionate people out there, and Booker made mention it with the social media people, the keyboard warriors typing in their little 2 cents worth in regards to the tyre debacle. Since you brought it up and you're going to have cheers, you might have heard Aaron Lewis giving his thoughts on that as well. And Craig Booker is right. It's drivers and their thoughts on it. You get all these fun, like they have their favorite drivers. They want to support with what they're saying, and they want to be just keyboard warriors. Some people honestly just want to be shit steerers, to be honest with you. And I don't really give a stuff, but they don't really know the in-depth of it. You got any thoughts you'd like to share on, you've seen around the social media?
Yeah, I've seen a lot on there. I haven't commented much I've been racking up old James Buckle quite a bit, because he's dead against, and I'm like, mate, we've got to slow all you cheaters down. I'm running the same tyre. Hey, I think what Speedway New Zealand is doing is good. Like not controlling the tyre, but we've got rules. So the duo on it's got to be right. I think what Speedway New Zealand doing by bringing it in on the 3rd of January or whatever it is, or 1st of January, is wrong.
Yes.
Because we've got Christmas coming up. There's one tyre that's been approved, isn't even in New Zealand yet, and that's the Megan tyre one in Hastings. And then you got the super stock tyre that's here. I've got 4 of them sitting in my shed at the moment. But also I've got 2 cars. So for me to go and buy a whole new set of tyres, and it's not just for one car, and spares for New Zealand champs 3 days or 4 days after January, I can't afford that.
Yeah.
Let's give us the season to run the tyres out that we have got. I've got probably 40 Hoosiers sitting in the shed, that not all new ones, but second-hand ones that we can still run. Let us run those tyres out and then start the season fresh next year. We all know where we are. Hoosier can get their shit sorted. Superstock can get tyres in. Megan Tyre can get their container in with their tyres. Then we're all on a level field. At the moment, if they were to turn around and say you can't run a Hoosier, you're probably going to have 15 Superstocks and the New Zealand champs. So I'll be guaranteed a top 15 spot. But, it's not fair, because, there is guys out there. Ben Milne, he works for wages each week. He can't afford to go and buy 6 Hoosiers for the rear.
Yeah.
6 new Superstock tyres for the rear.
Yeah.
There's a couple of grand. So, people will say, if you want to run that class, that's what you've got to do, and, blah, blah, blah. But hang on, not 8 weeks till Christmas, 7 weeks till Christmas?
Yeah.
It's hard enough at Christmas as it is, isn't it, mate? Yeah.
So I think Speedway New Zealand is, I totally agree with what they're doing, but bringing it in January, Come on, guys.
Yeah, hard
Be
out.
realistic.
I like what you said, though. Just let the season go through and then address it in the new season. It just seems to be in the too hard basket. What you've just said, Regan, is actually just common sense.
Correct.
It's common sense. And I do know why those in the hierarchy kind of have to make these kind of decisions. Look, and you're right. We'll leave it from that, because the other part that's common sense we want to talk to is something, and you're wearing it on your T-shirt. It's I Am Hope. And the only other day, Mike King come out and he was quite emotional, and you can understand where he comes from. He's been walking this for so long, hence the reason why he was the New Zealander of the Year a few years back. Obviously, things didn't go in the right way he envisioned it to go. He handed that actual title back over to the government and so forth, and it didn't mean nothing to him, because obviously he didn't have some support from that side of things. But now the support has been shown up and down the country for the past decade. Most know it as Gumboot Friday, but it's bigger than the Gumboot.
Yeah, it is. I was listening to a podcast of Mike King's about a month and a half, 2 months ago, when he was not long after he handed back that that award, or that honor that he got. And man, the guy, he's like you say, The Rock yesterday. Like it showed his passion. He's broken. He's tired, and the government aren't helping. We sort of, me and my wife spoke about this a couple of months back after watching his podcast, going, look, we need to do something. Like you said, everyone likes their posts and all this on Facebook, but let's get off our asses. Let's get out there, fundraise some money, do what we can to hopefully make a difference to one child, two child, teenagers.
Even if you can make a difference to just one, mate,
Correct. Yeah.
If you can help one, you've helped someone,
Yeah. What was it? It's $140 a session for a teenager or for a person to go and get counselling. You know, so if the government aren't going to fund it, and that kid or that child or that teenager or young adult can't afford the $140, like someone I know a few years back was a bit depressed. Went to the doctors. They got told, oh, look, here's some pills. Take some pills. You need counselling. So rang the counsellors. Told it was X amount of dollars, couldn't afford it at the time. So what they do, they didn't do it. Luckily today they're still alive. They just ground it all out, and they're a strong person. But the doctors never rung up. They never followed up. The government, they never helped out. Nothing. No one's ever rung to this day to say, "Are you okay?" Where is that? So Mike King's out there driving this I Am Hope government to help all these people out, and what the government done was just crap. But hey, the support we've had in the last week and a half is just, it's blowing me out of the water. I said to my wife tonight, I was like, this has gone way bigger than I expected with the support. So there's a lot of people out there. She spoke to a lady last night that didn't really knew about I Am Hope and Gumboot Friday.
Yep.
Wasn't until my wife shared the video of Mike King talking to The Rock that she went, wow, this has actually hit home. I've got a teenager that actually needs help. So, that's just brilliant, just that. So, yeah, if we can make a little bit of difference, and the support we've got from local businesses and people is just, awesome. We can $500 or $1,000 that's going to help someone.
Yeah, you're right. It's all about making a little difference. One little bit is going to help out. We all are aware post-COVID, things have been different. Things have been tough, extremely tough. Obviously, the homeless numbers up and down the country just gone crazy. The young age groups that are affected in many ways. Some are associated in these stupid bloody ram raids, as an example, as young as 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds. There are kids who are being in situations, and I'm going to say this, sometimes some parents need to take a look at themselves, but the kids are actually following what peers, and there's a whole lot of bloody things that change the world upside down, especially here in our backyard. In the world of social media, the influencers, they have an impact of young ones these days. And what you're doing with the support of people down there where you are, it's up and down the country. So, do jump on board. And like you said, there was a lady who saw the video from Mike, really felt it because she could relate to it. And it's just reaching out, because there are so many more people who don't need to be shy, hide away, kind of hide some of the stuff under the carpet, come forward. Open your mouth up. Otherwise, statistics will show we could lose some of these young ones to something else. Which I don't want to talk about at this stage because you know what I'm talking about. You know, we need to do our bit. So, you know, I really endorse what you're doing, you and everyone down there in your area, because it's got to make a bloody difference, and we need to all jump on board and support. And we know times are tough, mate. So you're good on you for doing that.
Yeah, well, I've got. Oh, sorry.
No, you go, mate.
You know, I've got like my staff here. I've got nine staff. I've got a couple of guys that are over the age of 30, but all of them are around 22, 21, 25.
Yep.
And looking at the statistics and all that, you know, it's the age gap from 12 to 15 was quite sort of noticeable. And then from the 20 to 24 was the other age. And you know, like my wife said, we'd sit back and think about it. That could be one of my boys out in the workshop that comes to work, smiles in the morning. Hey, boys, how's it? And we don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, so if we can do this, and it might be one day walking my door behind me and say, hey, boss, can I have a talk to you?
Yep.
Sure, man, sit down. So if we can make a difference that way, it'll be huge. It'll be cool. The company that we work for, Next Windows and Doors, our head company in Auckland is called FMI. They had Mike King come in and do a big talk one day at work, and he's got like 140, 150 staff up there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, you know, I had about 7 or 8 staff that walked in over the following weeks going, shit, what Mike King spoke about, that's me. I think I need some help. And he said, we changed 7 or 8 people. We helped them. And he goes, that was a big thing. He said, that was awesome. So that's kind of, you know, like with us, if we can get out and help someone, and it'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you know, I like the fact that for once we're using the social media for good instead of people getting on there using social media to cause this exact problem for people as well, you know. Like people need to sometimes stop and think what they have to say, you know. Sort of, you know, think before you open your shit mixer and what you're saying to somebody, you know, it's hard. And as a parent, watching my son sometimes for bullying growing up, you know, that's where it all starts and stems from, you know.
Yeah.
In America, we see this happening, and those kids are grabbing guns and shooting people.
Yeah.
You know, so we're lucky we're not like that. We got to start to think about other people. Bullying's just as wrong. And this I Own Hope, you know, helping someone. And we're coming down there. We're going to be at Regan's live on Saturday morning. We're going to go down there, Cockpit Media, and I'm going to put Regan on the mic, and we're going to go around and talk to people. So
awesome.
That's it.
I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm always happy to help and support a good cause. I mean, like I say, I bought my Safro top because they had the I Own Hope on it. So, you know, we're happy to come down and support you guys on Saturday morning.
Yep. 9 till 1.
Yep.
Yep. Down at the workshop, 27 Austin Street. We've got the V8 simulators. So we've got 2 of them turning up. So it's $5 for an adult and a gold coin for any child under the age of 12. So I've put $100 up for the fastest lap time for an adult, and
nice.
$50 up for the fastest 12-year-old. Yeah, no, he's not counting it. And $50 up for the fastest kid under the age of 12.
Nice.
And if the child under the age of 12 gets the fastest lap time for the kid and beats the adults, you can have 150. So we've got raffles. So tonight we've had hunting and fishing. They've donated a $2,000 4-person fishing charter.
Nice.
So we're going to run an auction for that through Facebook. So that will close Wednesday next week. So we're going to do an auction on that. We've had the Speedway. They've donated a family pass to whatever meeting of your choice. Paul Wise from the Fire Station Bakery, he's donated all the bread and everything for sausage sizzle. We're going to do on Saturday as well.
Nice.
Caffeine and Chills. So my wife and the coffee trailers coming down. They're going to be selling coffees. So all proceeds is going to I Am Hope and Gumboot Friday. So we've got Alana Buckthorpe from Taranaki. She's made a whole heap of Gumboot cookies for us to sell off.
Wow.
Sent them over. So Alana's Sugar Shack, thank you. BFT, the gym I've gone to, have donated a 1-month voucher membership. So, you know, that's all going to be in the raffle. We've got Tech Mechanical, a local business. They're dropping stuff off tomorrow. Yeah, it's gone huge.
Awesome, bro.
Well,
Awesome.
we just. Oh, sorry, kids.
Madu Goodley
I was
just
about to say the same thing.
Yeah, he's watching us, and Madu has just said, "I will chuck in a couple of drawings in Regan." So there you go. You got a couple of drawings.
No, mean drawings too. I've got a couple at home.
There you go.
He does a good job. Cheers, Madu.
Yeah. Cheers, bro. Cheers for that. You know. But I'm not too sure what the track will be, mate. Brody will just have to jump in. I would not be surprised, being Viet, it's going to be Bathurst or something like that.
I think it is Bathurst.
Yeah, bound to be Bathurst. Everyone loves racing Bathurst. Mate, and I'm part of an event up in my area as well. We start on the Friday, 10 in the morning, go through to Saturday, 10 in the morning. It's kind of a walkathon, and we've got a few people doing that. But, yeah, just so many people up here in our area have given in kindness, money, giveaways. Look, we're giving away a brand new bloody 32-inch Samsung TV, smart TV, but no different to what you're doing. We've got a big entertainment side of it. We've got bands coming down. We've got Mike to actually say a few words. We've got the big screen, and the radio station I work for, we're actually live streaming the whole build-up from 7 right through to 10 o'clock of the Saturday morning. So the poor young fella who's been given the hard job, he'll be doing the tough. He'll be doing the tough.
The young fella to get up at 7.
He's getting up earlier, mate. He's going down to do the blessing, the opening for it, the whole karakia for it at 5:30 in the morning. So he's got a long 20, 30 hours. But, you'll have the drone going up as well. We'll just live stream some of this. It's just going to be awesome. And it's not only our 2 areas I'm aware of. It's nearly the whole bloody country. And that's what we need to drive. It's the country needs to get behind this because Mike's been hurting, obviously, since there's no real interaction or support from the government. So he's pushing and he's just hoping that the country get behind him, and we are. Yeah,
no, definitely. And that's what we've got to do, because you just never know. One day, like old Book said, it could be your own child out there that's stressing and needs help. And, so if we can make that a little bit of difference, then I'm happy with that.
Yeah. And I see, obviously, you're not keeping up to speed. We've given you information because there's this young lady, Dominique O'Brien's just written something up. It's she's put, if anyone wants to donate something for the raffles, please PM one of their pages or drop your donation into Dad's work. So there you go. If you want to make a donation, PM the pages. So what's that? Is it your page? What are your pages, Regan? There you go. Tell us all.
So, the O'Brien's Racing page, or O'Brien's Aluminium Next Windows and Doors page, or obviously Dominique, myself, Kyron. Okay,
and if anybody on here can't find their page and you're struggling, you want to donate, you send me a PM on Cockpit and I'll send you a link to their pages. So if you're struggling to find it, you know where we are because you're watching. Send me a message and I will give you a link to go straight to their pages to help you do the donation. So there you go.
I know Carl Carbondale's going to call and he said, Regan, can we drop money into you? So there you go. Carl, go drop them in.
Man. This gumboot's sitting on my, it's been on my counter out the front all week. So there's money in there already. People been dropping these $20 notes and coins and anything in there. So by the end of Saturday night, we're going to have this in the coffee trailer at Speedway. So we want it full.
Awesome. Awesome.
Falling out. Hey, we want to fill this right up. So there's going to be a gumboot on the counter at the coffee trailer. I'll have it on the front of the super stock before the meeting. Because obviously I'm racing Kyron Superstock on Saturday. He's going to 660, so he needs to get his priorities right.
You're going to show him how to win a race, eh, bro?
Yeah. There was about 9 Superstocks entered at the beginning of the week. I think up to about 13 or 14. I was getting a bit gutted because I was quite happy with 9.
Well, you're going to make a top 10. So you're all good.
Some prize money. Go into a new fire fund.
Oh, mate.
That's cool.
But
it's going to be a good day on Saturday.
Yeah, it is going to be a good day. Look, people who just joined the show, we can have a laugh at this, but there's always that serious side of it as well, and there's nothing wrong with a bit of laughter. People just need to laugh a lot more these days, need to chill out.
Yep.
Otherwise, if you get too bloody wound up, you're going to let loose, and before you know it, mate, it's going to be too much to get yourself out.
Just go sit on the hill at Miani and do people watching, man. It's so therapeutic. Hey, Regan, people watching's good fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. I reckon I'm years ago I used to be like that, man. Everything was just a major, stressing out all the time. Come home from work grumpy. I've learned to chill out, man. And
Yeah.
oh well, I make the biggest stuff ups here at work, so I'm just oh well.
Oh, you do you don't like start bikes up or nothing in your workshop, do you? And smash glass or anything like that, do you?
What did you bring that up for? That shouldn't have happened. I think it was about 5 double glazed units and a door landed on me. Glass fell on the floor. Hopefully, WorkSafe's not watching.
Look, Brody Goodley. Brody sold us 660 tickets so he can go to Speedway, mate. Brody,
Good man, Brody.
Good man. You're a good man.
Yeah, he's a good kid, man. He's always comes up, says hello, shakes your hand. He's awesome.
Yeah,
he loves it.
Yeah,
him and his old man, they're good buggers.
Yeah. 100%, mate.
You might have caught us just before too when we started the show earlier in the piece. Myself and Booker's minds were thinking the same stuff, and it wasn't that hub side either. It was talking about mini stocks. We're going to do a mini stock special, bro, and bring a show in around that. Talk about the future of our speedway stars and give them some time to join us on our show, and get a bit of a chance, get to know them, because one day Craig is right. They will be a 1NZ. Yep. And, it's all about recognizing their families who invest into their children, their boys and girls, but also the family support of that, but also the sponsors who help these young kids out as young as 12, and it's just living the dream for these kids, when they go to bloody school, they're still primary school or intermediate, and some are going to secondary, and they ask you, mate, what do you do in the weekend? When I raced to the race car, and they go, what?
Yeah. No, I think that's so. The young kids, they got to get used to talking in front of microphones and all that, because, this day and age, they don't get up and talk, and when they do, they're saying,
listen, we've had better interviews from some of our mini stock drivers that we've done the last few times, mate, with better speakers and knew all their sponsors better than some of these big super stock drivers we've spoken to, and they were clearer as well,
Oh, that's it. Thank my sponsors. Oh, okay. So we're sitting there going, okay. All right, sponsors, who are they? This might start a company up, just called Sponsor. Every time they go, I think my sponsors, I'm like, yeah, it's me.
These bloody young kids, boys and girls, they were onto it. They weren't shy to talk to them, but the thing that we interacted with them and we saw the mums and dads, and they just come up to Craig and I and Aaron, who was with us, and Vince, and we've been traveling Stratford or Palmy. They were just like, thank you. That was so cool what you've done with our son or daughter. They just think it was the coolest, and they come up with their phones. So you got to give it to the kids because, like I say, and we said at the start, they are the future of the sport.
Yeah, so if you weren't watching at the start, people, if you know a young mini stock driver, or you're a mum or dad of a mini stock driver, we'd love to interview them on our show. We're going to do a mini stock drivers night. So PM our page, get hold of us, and we'll put them on. And they can talk about their sponsors, talk about their speedway career, if they're first time doing it or 2 years, whatever. We don't care. Get them on. We'll talk to them. Mike Mack has come on board now. Regan, you want to know what he said?
He's obviously not in the shed working on the Superstar.
He's got his Regan going to shave his head for the cause, lol.
I get more off there I think he should shave his beard off. We should get him down here Saturday and shave his beard off.
Wow, hey. How many people would pay to see that? That's been there a long time, eh?
I know. I don't like to see what's in it.
Just leave us Mo there, then he can represent Movember as well then. Now giving you the idea.
I know he's not racing on Saturday because he hasn't finished his car, so...
He's going to 660. He's just bought Brody's ticket. No, hey, Peter Jones. Yeah, mate, you're a legend as well. So, Pete, thanks for watching. I'm guessing you're watching across the ditch over there in Australia. So good to have you on board. Kira Remnant's joined as well. Mike Mack.
Deal,
mate.
Is that a deal, Mike, that you're going to shave it? Watch this space. I'll bring the clippers with the camera on Saturday, Regan.
Good man. Hey, there we go.
Hey, come on, Mike. Let's see it.
Yeah.
We'll film that live. If he does that, we'll do that live and we'll go for bloody donations off that, mate.
Yep. There we go. Hey, I'm sure there'll be some Speedway fan out there who would love to own Mike Mack's beard.
It's taking more hits than Elvis.
Yeah. Nah, that's cool.
That would be awesome.
I heard you talking earlier on about how Superstock drivers go out. Must be on Wednesday nights for dinner. So,
Yeah.
So we know Mike and Kerry ain't.
It's not date night for him.
Hey, and if they are out for dinner, it can't be that entertaining.
I know Quinn's out, mate. I was talking to Quinn Ryan, and he's out.
He's out every night for dinner, that fella.
Actually, now we got you here, Regan, and down in the Hawke's Bay, and I know you're very, very proud of your track down there. And we're going to be catching up with a driver that you've been associated with next week. It's a special show coming up on Wednesday.
Next Wednesday, yep.
And you do not want to miss this show out. It's going to be an awesome show because he's actually had to hang up not only his rugby boots, but also his Speedway helmet. Yep. So Jason Long, he is back from overseas. I think he went to the Melbourne
Cup to have a couple of quiet ales.
Go and soak up some of that rain.
Yeah, Hawke's Bay's been mint.
So Jason's going to be joining us next Wednesday. So that's our special guest. Yeah, looking forward to that. And
he'll give us he'll put all the rumours to bed that people have speculated and why and who and what and where. So
well, I know he has got a production saloon and it's a CRX because I've seen it in his. I'll just keep that one going. That was behind that adult mini stock he's got. It's a sad thing, but you know he's a young fella, and so he's still got a long road ahead of him.
Listen,
so you got to look after your brain, man.
The biggest thing for me on that whole situation, Regan, is there's a young guy that's made the right decision.
Yes.
How many have we seen go? She'll be right. Jump back in that freaking car, and then that's it for them. You know. So I take my hat off to Jason for standing up, and as far as I'm concerned, that's being a man, accepting, hey, this is it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and you look after yourself instead of worrying about everything else, you know?
Yeah, 100%.
I hope by, you know, because he's well looked up to in the Superstock rankings or Speedway rankings, and I hope that by him standing up going, hey guys, like, you know, I've got to give up because, you know, I've got concussion, that there's other drivers out there that are getting head knocks and all that go, you know what? This probably isn't the be and end, or, you know, I might have to hang the helmet up too because you never know what's going to happen and when's that last hit going to be the last hit.
100%.
You know? So, hey, man, that's a big thing what he's done because I know it wasn't just him. It's a big family sport for him, his dad and his mum and his wife and kids.
And let's face it, he was at the top of his game at the moment with that car too, wasn't he? You know, like it, you know, and and like his dad is. Look how long he was been. I mean, before Kerry, he was the longest teams racing. You know,
they've been around the sport for years, and you know, like the only thing I say was with Jason not playing rugby this year is that my left ear, there's the right ear, but got a rest this year from Mike Mack because all he does is sit there the whole rugby game when Jason's on the bench going, "Bring on Jason!"
He does too. He does too.
But this year he couldn't yell that out. So I was like, this is all he kept playing out was, "Ref, that's bloody wrong."
There's always those bloody ones on the sideline.
I know. Old Murray used to be quite bad on the sideline when Jason was playing as well, though. Eh? I remember when they came and played us at Taradale, because I'm a Taradale supporter, so Mike Mack will like that. But even Murray used to be on the sideline there going, it'd be nice to have Murray come on with Jason. I was going to ask Jason if he'd like to have Murray come on with him as well and talk. So I think that'd be a lot of history and a lot of a really good interview. So don't forget to tune in next Wednesday, guys. We got Jason Long on to talk about his great career, even though it was short. You know, I remember the New Zealand champs at Huntly that Joe Farron won, and Jason was entered for that one, and he left after the first night because he didn't qualify, I think, but he went back to go because he had to play rugby the next day.
Yeah.
So he travelled all the way back to Napier to play rugby and lead the New Zealand champs. So it was, you know, that was going back a few haircuts. When was that? Joe Farron won.
2011, 2012.
Yeah, a long time ago, eh?
Years ago, yeah.
Yeah.
It was the same year I got 3NZ and Rotorua in the stock car.
That's right. Yeah.
Joe had the orange car and he duct taped it all up.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Had no help from anybody. Hey, did it all on his own to win that one?
Yep, just hit out there. So, Yeah, no, it was cool. But yeah, well, Jace, she's 10, was it 2010, 2011, somewhere around there. Jace would have been barely old enough to race the super stock.
Yeah, he's only a young fella then, yeah.
He would have been 19, 20.
Yeah, young fella. 2012, apparently Joe won. So yeah, 2012. Everyone's put in the comments. Look, we better wrap it up, mate. And I just want to say thank you for joining us and for what you're doing down there at the track. And looking forward to 9 o'clock with yourself and Booker live this Saturday 9 to 1 o'clock. You're doing a great cause, and like everyone else up and down the whole country, get behind this whole I Am Hope and do a little bit, give generously, and just think you could make one person's life change, make a difference. Make a difference.
Yeah, and Mike Mac, I'll bring the Clippers on Saturday, mate. Oops.
Awesome, guys. It's always good to chat to you, and we look forward to Saturday morning. And to the listeners that are out there, don't forget you can also text boots to 469, and that's a $3 donation straight away. So
there you go.
Jump on, text boots. If you don't know how to spell it, BOOTS. And it's $3. It's half a pie.
Exactly. Yeah. It's in that sandwich we're saying that's half a pie. It used to be 2 pies.
Yeah. If you go to PJ's Bakery, it's only quarter of a pie. Cool. Awesome, guys. Thank you. We'll get you on Saturday, Booker.
Cheers, mate. We'll see you then.
Mate. See you later, mate.
See you. Thanks, Regan.
Oh, next time we get back out on the road and travel down, up and around the country. Look, we've been to Stratford not that long ago, and also we went down to Palmerston North, just over a month ago, I'm guessing now. We're going to make a trip down there. We're going to have to do it down there in your neck of the woods, Books.
Oh, mate, I think when the season finishes, I think we're going to have to do a show.
Yeah, we'll just go do
in Miami, like we have done, because there's some great old guys left there that have raced for years. There's so much knowledge and fantastic stories and history around Miami Speedway that I think needs to be told. And I think we need to do that. I think we need to do that one. I think we need to make our next one down Miami, and really showcase a great. I think it's a great track. I mean, I think all tracks are great, to be honest, mate. You're
biased. You're biased.
I think I'm biased with Miami, but I was born and bred Palmy, mate, and I still love Palmy. But I just think every track is great. I mean, and the fans that are coming out this season to every track is just fantastic. So don't forget, guys, if you are a parent of a mini stock driver, or you know of a mini stock driver, and you're a driver yourself, or you've seen a young mini stock driver, get hold of us. We want to put them on the show. We want to do a mini stock night with a few drivers, and make a great show of it, and let these guys talk about their cars and talk about their driving and how much fun they're having.
Yeah, that's the key to it. They're having fun. They're enjoying themselves. You can see it on their mums, dads, their families, their crews, everyone that's associated and wrapped around these young drivers, because that is the future of the sport that we love. I do thank every single one of you too for the lovely comments. Great show, team. Fantastic show, guys. Absolutely awesome. That was awesome. Thanks, awesome show. That would be cool. Yeah, and it's all about making our show fun, interactive, cool, and especially around the cause I Am Hope. That was a special focus with, of course, Regan O'Brien. Good to catch up with a good mate from Garage 16, Aaron Lewis, talk about what's coming up in the NZ Dirt Track magazine. So make sure you get that. It's quite a special issue coming out throughout this month of November, but also next month as well to be more special, especially you want to talk about tyres. But otherwise, that's about a wrap. And don't forget to, we start our Stockcar Indy League series
Sunday night. Yeah,
Sunday night, 8:15. We're down doing the South Island Champs at Riverside, I think it is. So make sure you look forward to that. That'll go through to December 18, 7 weeks or run for. So I do jump on board. We do have plans on an E-Series with real superstock drivers later in the new year, obviously with the busy speedway season for everyone out there. And we'll make things happen. But otherwise, get out there and support your local initiative around I Am Hope. Give kind. Take care, everyone. Don't forget to be careful out there because fireworks went on sale.
Yes.
Just be mindful, look after your animals and look after yourself. And yeah, just take care and get behind, as I say, I Am Hope. And don't forget to next Wednesday, Jason Long. So come and join us and enjoy the fun every Wednesday. We are in the cockpit with Kinser and my good mate here, Bumper Run, Craig Booker. We'll see you all back 7:30, same place on Cockpit. Catch you later. See ya.
Thank you.
Welcome along, everyone. What was that like, that experience jumping into your first race?
It's been my life ever since I can remember.
Look, it really was unbelievable.
I think it's awesome.
Just go out there and give it your every time. And
When you're young and you get in your old man super stock and you wreck it, I mean, it's pretty cool.
Craig Booker with the big smile. He is the voice that's behind what you get to hear every Sunday night.
Give it the hoot, Nanny. Look at that field. Doesn't it look fantastic?